$25,000. That's what CNN is declaring some people are paying for a single trip to Walt Disney World. And then, folks, it begins an effort to suggest that if you pay less than $25K, you're doing A-OK. Heck, you got Disney on a budget, on a bargain. Might as well be a Magic Kingdom Blue Light special. We'll tell you what's going on and why the message is shifting, and we'll do it right now. Hello, folks, and welcome back to the happiest place on YouTube. Never have people had such a good time since Bing Crosby danced with Danny Kaye. And we're doing A-OK here, as we said in the intro, though guests for, well, Disney World might not be because the prices, they're insane and not in a good way. Today, we're going to tell you what's going on as the narrative begins to shift. And it seems like those in the legacy media are attempting to tell you that although your dollars may drift away from your wallet when you go to the Magic Kingdom, Epcot, and more, it's all worth it, folks. It's all worth it. You just have to see the value indeed. All right, folks, this is our next story. It's out of CNN. It's by David Goldman. You are not going to believe what the headline should be here. The headline they've chosen is, you no longer need a PhD in Disney World to make it affordable.
Is that because it's just impossible mathematically to make it affordable?
That's true.
Challenge accepted. Let's go.
Get ready. I want everyone to hear what affordable is to CNN. And by the way, as we read this, just know that what they're trying to do, it seems to me, is they're trying to fortify those who are on the left side of the political spectrum that they want to go to Disney World. And otherwise, why would CNN be running this? We've looked at this in the past. We know that moderates and conservatives have mostly left CNN. So this is aimed at a particular political part of the spectrum, right? In the same way that if you did an article on Fox News, you know that most of the people on the left would not be reading that. So understanding that, here's what affordable looks like to CNN as they try to get people to go to Disney World. Between figuring out lightning lanes and how to cram all the rides and meals the family wants into a single trip, planning a Disney World vacation is complicated enough, let alone if you're trying to do a Disney on a budget. Oh, but I wonder what that budget is. An entire cottage industry of, quote, Disney hacks, unquote, has popped up on social media in recent years, with influencers explaining how to navigate the complex web of deals and methods you can employ to save money on your Mickey Mouse trip. You could even take online classes in Disney vacations if you want. But Disney, long criticized for its high price tickets, is making a concerted effort to add simplicity to its park offerings so guests can figure out how to travel on a budget without needing a doctorate in Disney World. We're going to scroll on down, folks. We're going to scroll on down because we know where we need to go for the stuff that you need to see. Are you ready for this? Here we go.
Let's do it. 2
paragraphs in the big one. Disney World announced it will offer up to 25% off on rooms early next year. Another discount? What? That Epic Universe surely isn't a thing. Or $200 off per night for 3-night guests who book a resort hotel stay. Wait a minute. Another discount for staying 3 nights? It's almost as if there's a pattern. Disneyland has a $50 kids ticket offer for children up to 9 years old, blah, 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 blah. An advantage of going during off-peak times. You might not need to purchase an expensive Lightning Lane pass for your favorite rides. During peak hours, they're necessities. If you don't want to wait in a 2 to 3 hour line, bull hunkus. But those lines can shrink to just 30 to 45 minutes during off-peak hours. Folks, Marvin can tell you, we've covered this. Except for a few rides like Tron that have serious capacity issues, those lines are not going to be 3 hours almost any time of the year.
Nope, and don't believe the posted wait times. Joshua Harris did an entire thing that we covered on That Park Place, where he noticed they were inflating wait times by up to 300% to sell Lightning Lane.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, and that's what we've seen on my live streams as well. The game we play is, okay, what's posted and how long did it take us to get on the attraction? And 9 times out of 10, that wait time has been seriously inflated.
All right, here's the fun one. You ready? Here's what CNN says qualifies as being affordable. Emphasizing value over price. Can you do a Disney trip for $25,000? You bet. And the company gets raked over the coals for it. Disney raising ticket prices has become a symbol of corporate greed. Both Disney World and Disneyland tickets can cost more than $100 per person per day. I'm sorry, CNN. Is this from 10 years ago? They could cost more than $200 a day.
What, 25,000? That's
the
number?
Right. This is what's funny.
Where in the world are they who are they marketing this to? I'm not spending 25,000 to go to fake places at Disney.
Yeah.
Also, can cost more than $100 per person. I believe you mean do cost more than $100 per
Yes.
person. I don't think there's a single day.
There isn't.
Not one, right, Lorena? Not one day of the year where you can get into any of those 4 parks for under $100.
Not one day. You may be able to do it if you're a Florida resident, but
listen, look at this. The way this is being framed by CNN, I want everybody to pay attention to the framing of it.
Mm-hmm.
What they're saying is, if you do Disney World for less than $25,000, then you've achieved affordability. Notice the little play here. Can you do a Disney trip for $25,000? You bet. But you don't have to. So CNN is trying to suggest to the reader, if you go to Disney World for $18,000, by golly, you got a bargain. That's a bargain deal. That's amazing. So
I have to laugh at how tone deaf this is, because I've done Disney trips back in the day for like $2,500, and that was like some gangster budget planning. But 25, how tone deaf is that with how the economy is right now? 25,000, that's a slap in the face. It really is.
Well, no. But Lorena, what if you spent $20,000? That's affordable, right? CNN is saying you don't have to spend the 25. Just spend 20. Just go to Disney and spend 20, and just look at all the poor plebes around you and know that you're doing it for cheaper than them. They don't even know, because you read the CNN article. You got the real cheap ways in. Let's take a look at the way this ends. Disney on a budget comes with some sacrifices. You won't be able to go during peak vacation hours. You might have to take your children out of school for a few days during the week. January to March and September to November are the cheapest times to go, according to Jay Michaels, editor at Disney travel planning company Magic Guides. But just like there are a zillion options and price points when buying a car, you need to do some research to make sure you're doing the right thing. A Disney vacation can be a similarly challenging purchase. Disney isn't an impulse buy. Options and perks are constantly changing, but it's best to come prepared.
So nice of CNN, by the way, to reference Magic Guides and not link to them.
Yeah.
Out of that. That's vicious.
I'm thinking SEO terms right now.
Yes. Here's what they try to, and remember the audience we talked about. Who is CNN talking to? They're largely not talking to the right or the middle. Here's what they compare it to. They say, you can go to a sporting event or a Taylor Swift concert and spend a lot of money for 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
When you're at Disney, you can be in the park for 15 hours. And in that 15 hours, you can see a concert, play mini golf. You can see a parade and fireworks. People just look at the price, but not the value. So if it costs you $18,000 or $19,000, you're not paying attention to all you're getting. By the way, they don't have mini golf inside the parks.
That's what I was thinking. I'm like, where's the mini golf at?
Where's the concert at?
Yeah, Disney Springs. That's free.
Well,
I mean,
you can get a concert at like Epcot during the festivals or something like that. You can go see Tiffany.
Oh, like Burning Man. But yeah,
and you can drag in a golf club and hit a ball around, until security catches you. But it still doesn't count. This is just so sad to me. The idea that now we're trying to convince people that if they spend under $20,000, they're getting a real deal. And
Disney has done a bang-up job in their marketing to advertise that if you don't go to Disney and spend this kind of money at least once in your life, you have not lived. When they're literally, I mean, I enjoy going to Disney for the most part, but in my humble opinion, I'm different. I like the theme parks, but I would rather take that money and see real buildings constructed by the ancients. Like, take that money and go to Europe, man. Take that money and travel across America. I find that there would be better things. I mean, again, a lot of people like the theme park, so spend your money where it makes you happy. But it's just in my mindset, I'm like, Man, you could just like go to the beach and have a simple kind of vacation and use that money for highfalutin restaurants while you're at the beach or something like that, and be like, you know what, I'm going to spend $500 on dinner tonight, my treat, and then just, I don't know, maybe I'm a little too practical, but I'm like,
when it comes down
really
to
is
it,
relative. You know,
Yeah.
it really is relative depending on what's your thing or what's not your thing. If you're not a fan
sure.
of Disney, do not spend your time at Disney World. You will be freaking miserable. But for some people, they're just like, hey, this is where I want to go. This is where my kids want to go. They want to see the princesses. As for me, I've never been before. I may want to go. So it kind of depends on what it is, that you want to do. Because I know for myself as a kid, my parents couldn't afford to take me to Japan. So guess what? The next best thing is I'm going to the Japan Pavilion at Epcot back in the day when they used to do this, and talk to people who live there and get that, and get that experience. But now it is so hideously expensive. And I know Pro and I know Marvin, do you guys remember when Disney used to advertise how affordable it was to go to their
Oh yeah.
Mm.
There were entire sections of the vacation planning DVD that you would get for free that were all just about how affordable this all is.
Oh wow.
Yep. They were just like, you can do it for like four people for like a family of four with tickets and meals for like less than $5,000 or something like that. I mean, it was between that $3,000 to $5,000, literally.
Wow.
That's what they hyped, how quote unquote affordable it was. And that's what they led with.
When it comes down to it, you think about the options that open up when for me, it was kind of an automatic. When is our next Disney vacation? Like we're planning for the next one, even if it is, a year away, 2 years away, whatever. When you eliminate that for the uncreative people or the people who've never thought outside of that box, it really opens up how lazy you can get in planning your vacations. If you don't have someone saying, oh, well, here's the next thing, and here are the upgrades on that next thing that you could be doing. There are great national parks. There are regional parks that I would say are more enjoyable for Disney, especially dollar for dollar. I would love to point out that Dollywood is actually a better theme park than Disney on probably 2/3 of the days of the year that you could go there, or going to places that you would never imagine visiting, that you can go to the fake one at Disney, or you can go to a real foreign country for $25,000 and stay in the safe places. You don't have to go far off the beaten path, and make memories that people would be jealous of. If you're, I've seen the fake version of this at Disney. If it's not magical, then there's really no reason to go to the Disney one.
Sure.
It that's bothered me for a very long time. The idea of fake Canada over there. Okay, yeah, they've got a nice steak joint there. They really do. Le Cellier, fantastic steaks. But I don't want to pay the money to go there when I can go to a local restaurant and probably dollar for dollar get treated a lot better. Feel like I'm a lot more special. And I have the option of maybe not also paying for a $150 to $200 ticket before I go sit down at a restaurant. Restaurants exist outside of the park.
And let's not forget that part of the way Disney does this is they essentially guilt many families into believing that if they don't take their kids at least once or twice in their childhood, that it will ruin their childhood. And then Disney also, somewhere around the 90s, began doing their marketing. It kind of switched from being about come check out the coolest rides and come see what we've got here at Disney and have a great vacation. It switched to come have the magic, come experience the magic, and it kind of became this quasi-religious thing where come feel the magic, and all this. And so the idea is that they've now raised these a not insignificant number of adults who have bought into this quasi-religious Disney magic idea, and they're willing to spend insane. They're willing to go in debt in order to experience the quote unquote magic and have some sort of, spiritual experience watching the fireworks at the castle. And it's not healthy because it's a corporation that is doing that. If you want to go to Disney World to take your kids to ride Dumbo, that's great. If you're going to Disney to have some sort of, mystical experience and join in Disney culture, little weird. Little strange.
I wish I had like the video up or whatever. There was, I think it was on Instagram. There was this gentleman, adult male, who was, I guess you classify them as a Disney adult, was complaining, annual pass holder, by the way, was complaining about the fact that there were so many children on the shoulders of their parents during the fireworks show, and it bl- messed with their view of the fireworks.
Oh, I had someone do that on Twitter, and I said, you know what? The kids have just as much a reason to be there as you. And I get exactly what you're saying, Tabitha, because that annoyed me. I love Disney as much as anybody else.
Oh,
I'm going to push back. I'm going to gently push back. I think it's a matter of the parents not having any consideration for maybe like, 12-year-olds who are standing behind them or something like that, by putting the kid, instead of holding them on their side at their eye level, putting them on their shoulder, which then turns a 5-foot person into a 7-foot person. I think that is probably what.
But for fireworks that are like 30 feet in the air.
They also do it for concerts. They do it for stage shows. They do it.
I know. I do understand that. I do understand if you're, towards the front and you are looking at something that is closer to, and they're shorter people. I understand that. I can be on board with that. But for fireworks, and also, again, for me, the clincher was the fact that it was an annual pass holder. So that means you can go back whenever you want to. That family probably won't be back for another 5-6 years.
Yeah.
For me, it's just when the kid is behind you in line and keeps kicking your legs, and you give that look like 3 or 4 times, and the parents behind you don't say, honey, stop kicking the stranger. Like,
I was in line one time for a ride, and there were 2 kids that 2 kids behind me were literally like, they had this moment where they were like, to the death then, and just launched into a battle. And I was like, really? Nothing?
I mean, I'm not gonna say that kids are all wonderful at the kingdom, I'm not saying that, but I'm just like, for that particular story, it was like, come on, dude, get off your high horse, let these people have their fun. If you can go back tomorrow whenever you feel like it, then because the fireworks happen every day.
Every time. And of course you get people who want to get that perfect shot for Instagram and all of that. So they're going to, yell at people, or try, not that everyone does this, but when this family has like a little kid, on their shoulders for the fireworks, it's not going to kill you if you are an AP to just deal with that. Now, if you get there first and somebody tries to squeeze in front of you, that's different. I will go to more combat to do that. No, you don't do that. But it is a very entitled mentality. My family, we call them pass holes.
I use that phrase too.
I like that.
I was going to say it too, Lorena, but I didn't know if it flew by the Jonas radar.
I'm gonna circle back to one thing where we can say it's definitely Disney's fault here. I didn't hear anything. With this issue, Disney ropes off space for sale to people who have dining packages and have fireworks packages. So in the end, this problem is definitely Disney's fault for limiting
the bottom line is, even if a kid is stepping on your toes, even if they're sitting on the shoulders in front of you and you can't see a darn thing, remember, you're paying $20,000 or less. And in the eyes of CNN, you've got a really good deal. So be happy.
Totally worth it.
Face. You outsmarted all the rest of the uber rich plebes.
Mm-hmm.
We really hope that you felt this video was satisfactual. We know we had an actual good time participating and communicating with each and every one of you out there listening. It is a great honor. It is a great pleasure, even a responsibility to do this on a daily basis. You give us the dream job we love doing, and for that we can never say thank you enough. There's only one small favor we ask beyond what has already been done, and that is, folks, consider it. That is clicking the like button. Share, subscribe, click it, stick it to those pesky algorithms. It's the notification bell, and drop a comment right on down below. Let us know your thoughts, because your thoughts do indeed matter, no matter what the mainstream media would otherwise say. Folks, as we say every single time we end these videos, because we mean it, keep learning, keep growing, and keep having fun.